Good morning. Denise Dryden, doing my Sunday morning weekly video each week. Today I want to talk about what does it mean when we want to go from managing our life into resting, right? So it's about relationships. It's about the relationships with the people we're close to. It's about parent to child. It's about partner to partner. It's about friend to friend. And the way we explain this is whether or not these relationships feed us or these relationships drain us, right? And so what the last couple of weeks, what I've noticed is that I've been working with a lot of different families and the angst is up, right? Whether it's because we're sensitive and intuitive and we're seeing different ways of working with things, right? That I've been able to address, which is, what are we sending out? What are we receiving? What's working and what's not working in our relationships? And how do we get beyond the surface stuff, right? So what we've been looking at mostly is that in some cases we're handling our kids, we're handling our partners, we're handling things because whether it's we're worried about walking on eggshells, they've had some stress, they're not thriving, it's like, oh, I want to try to help, but I don't know what to do. And it's difficult. And so what I've noticed is that, particularly a couple of parents that I've been working with, is like, they're worried. They're worried about what's going on with their kid, right? Or their young adult or their grown adult. And they're putting it out there in this sort of like, I need to talk to them. I need to help them. But maybe there's something else we can do, right? So for today, I want to drive into this concept of the energy of the relationship. That this is, when we have this dynamic going, that there's energy going back and forth. So this isn't about love or the lack of love. It's simply about how we take our own personal hopes and dreams and agendas and expectations and desires, and in our dialogue, we push them towards somebody else. So an example would be like right now, I've got, a couple of families where junior year, with SAT, ACT testing, seniors where you got to keep your grade up and you got to manage this and you're going to get accepted into college and we got to get ready for college. And what I'm noticing is that it's intense. It's really intense to be in school right now, working with parents who have to make sure that their kid is ready to go to college. The other one is, what do you do when you have a friend who's worried about you because you've either gone through a breakup or a divorce, or you've had some health issues, or you're struggling at work, and your friend wants to sort of like keep asking you, keep double checking. They want to be there for you, but maybe the way that they're being for you isn't exactly helping, right? So I could name a dozen examples, tons and tons of different ways that we have these relationships and we have something going on here. So the focus is about the way we go into these relationships, the way we do this dialogue. So whether we've talked about this, whether it's love, whether it's attention, whether it's friendship, we push, we guide, we steer, we remind, we show concern, and we in some ways it's admirable. Oh yeah, it's really nice. I care about you so much that this is what I'm going to do. Yet, it can be perceived and felt really differently by the person on the receiving end. So for those of us who are sensitives and intuitives, which is about a third of the population, let's be really clear, we read energy. We feel the intentions. We feel the energy in your body when you're talking. We feel your unspoken words. We feel your worries, okay? We feel all of your judgments, all of your agendas. And so, you might be talking saying, so how are you doing? Love you so much. And what we're hearing is, oh God, here she goes again, right? So it takes a tremendous amount of energy to be present and to manage through these kinds of interactions and manage is probably really the best word for it, which is, it takes a lot of work to keep navigating around because we listen and we feel and we navigate between the words and the tone of voice and the body posture. And it's exhausting because all that's going on isn't what we've been talking, isn't what the words are that are coming out, just the words. There's so much more there. And so, I looked up the word to manage. It was pretty fun. To manage is to have charge of, to direct, to administrate, to conduct, to control, to accomplish something. She managed it so well, right? And if we're unaware that we're doing this kind of managing in our relationships, yet the person who we're talking to is aware that you've got something going on, we've got an imbalanced relationship, and we've got a lot of work that doesn't necessarily have to be there. Make sense? Yeah. And so, what I like is this card here, which is on the Osho's end, which is, I'm just trying to deal with all of the things that you're sending my way. And then you keep hitting me with these things that are just going to knock it all down, right? So this is the 7 of Wands. It's like what happens when we're really pushing on something. And then within the Thoth deck is the Strife, which is, here's these, 4 swords that have a lot of energy, and then there's this big metal thing over the top of it that's just blocking it all. It's so hard to get energy going when there's something big that's unspoken in the world, right? Or in the room. So I want to add one more piece to this, that we are an externally driven world, right? We want to make sure that we look good. We want to make sure that we look successful, that we help each other out, that the way that the world presents on the outside, that we want to be healthy, we want to be strong, we want to be seen a certain way. So this is an outer image of outer successes and outer focus. And so what happens is we think we're doing okay on the outside, because we're addressing what we want life to be, but that isn't exactly what we're sending on the inside. So because we're on the eve of a really big eclipse tomorrow, full lunar eclipse on the 14th, and then on the 21st we shift into one of the biggest historical conjunctions between Jupiter and Saturn that line up on the 21st of December and take us into Aquarius at 0 degrees Aquarius. Now, go play with that in astrology. That's not the purpose here. The purpose here is to say that there's some really big stuff pushing us up, sort of bringing our attention, which means that our energies are going to be up. Our worry, our intensity, our patterns, the way that we control things, all of that is unconscious or conscious. It's going to be up. It's going to be up, directing us, pushing us, sort of from the inside out. So what we're going to do is we're going to strive and we're going to push more. We're going to manage more because we're trying to navigate ourselves through a lot of this external sort of distraction and chaos. Not to mention holidays, lockdown, political, that's just, those are just the additional surface things that are going on beyond these planets sort of pushing. So especially now, because we have the holidays coming up, and the holidays trigger some of our old familial patterns, which is I need to make sure I'm with my kids. I need to make sure that I get him a great present. I need to make sure I spend time with my friends because this is the time of the year where I just want to celebrate with them. And so what happens is we've had a hard year. Our kids are struggling, we're separated, we have maybe limited funds, and we're trying to ship things. I just went to UPS and found out that if I ship something to this afternoon or tomorrow, which is the 13th, that it will not get there by Christmas. Will not be there by the 25th because all of the shipping deadlines are so overpacked right now. So it's like, okay, so just another stressor, right? So all of this angst, all of this worry, all of this love is all mixed up together. And what happens is that it comes across as intense. And, we want it to be good, but it's intense. So we approach our relationships with this crap load of energy that's behind everything. And we don't realize that we're asking the people we're talking to manage us, right? So when we get this, when we really get this and we're aware of it, is that are you someone who has to be managed by your children, by your spouse, by your friend? Are you someone who provides, extra work and exhaustion, or are you someone who provides peace? How do you know, right? Can you provide an energetic, place of rest for the people you love? Or do they have to manage you? Oh, ouch. This is not fun when we really realize that we're the ones that have to be managed. And we put more pressure on our children. We put more pressure on the people we love because we are unable to capture what it is we do that puts so much pressure on them. So the main focus of today's exploration is about how do you assess and know if you're adding on to someone's stress level or if you're providing a neutral place so that they don't have to manage you. So the first thing that I would say, because I always address tips in this, the first thing I would say is that last week I did a video called Get to Neutral. Just get to neutral. So go back and look at that. It's got 7 really good tips on what you can do with your body to get to neutral. So I don't have to be redundant in this, right? The second thing is I want you to just for a moment, and if you want to, you can close your eyes or you can just, turn inside. And I want you to feel in your body and watch the thoughts that go through your head when I bring up these words, which is urgency, worry, fear, concern, deadlines, schedules have to be met, judgment, my desire for you. What do these feel like in your body? Do they grip you? Can you feel the presence of them? That whether or not underneath it all, there's still this grip, this edge. That's where we want to go and find out. That's there. That's detectable to others. Whether we believe it or not, whether we want to believe it or not, it's there. So let's turn it around and go to the other side. Close your eyes, go internal, feel the words, feel your body and watch the words go by your head, which is love, laughter, play, adore, wonderful, peace, beautiful, acceptance. What does it feel like in your body when you can take these words and you can feel them exuding out of you? And what if we could offer those as a platter during this crazy busy time towards the people we love, so that you become this place where they can rest and expand. I don't know if you can see that, rest and expand, or that they can see that there are things that are going on that help them, right? That they are, here's another one, I'm trying to reach it without knocking everything down, that they're free, absolutely free to be who they are. This is amazing work when we realize we want to provide a resting spot. So this next thing is your view, your agenda, your hopes. These belong to you. They're not somebody else's. So you have to catch them from pushing them onto the other. So anytime that something's coming up like, I'm worried about whether he's gonna get his homework in and it's gonna affect his grade, that's your stuff. Don't put that on him. Those are the kinds of things that we want to pull back and say, what am I doing? And so notice when you're talking to the person you absolutely adore, are you going, I wish she didn't wear that shirt today? Or, what is she doing with her hair? Or, I can't believe she keeps talking about this. Because what happens is we're pushing out the stuff that means that they have to manage us. Number 5, bring your breathing down to calm. Let go of doing anything. A platform is simply, hey, let's meet there. Like Rumi says, there's a space out there. I'll meet you there. Let's go play. Let's just be present and open and clear and have some fun. And number 6, right, is to listen. Listen and smile and acknowledge and accept and hold love. That you are a very small place in their world, a very beautiful landing pad for that person to rest. And when they're resting there, you can rest there as well. It's phenomenal. So this is the most important relationship dynamic there is. Either you are part of the problem and you are someone that they have to manage, or you are someone that they can relax with and they can they can blossom and become who they are meant to be. The choice is always yours. It's about how you manage your energy and how you hold yourself sacred so that you don't impose it onto someone else. So this is the stuff I've been doing a lot more coaching with, is how to manage our energy systems. So you can find me on DeniseDrydenCoaching.com. I have tons of other videos. You can go look at those. And it's Sunday, so enjoy the day and head into the eclipse tomorrow. It's a sacred day. Notice what it feels like. Notice what's going on. And have a good week. I'll see you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.